We're in a recession, so what's the good news?
Well, some of the biggest companies in the world actually have started in a recession, so there's got to be some good news. And I think Mike maybe has a list of some of these people.
Yeah, I have like 13 massive companies that started during a recession, starting with General Electric in 1892, but all the way to like General Motors, IBM, Disney, HP, Hyatt, Trader Joe's, FedEx, Microsoft, Electronic Arts, and even Salesforce, Google, and Facebook started right before a recession. So, look, what did they do that allowed them to be so massively successful during what most consider the worst times of their lives as far as business is concerned?
I'll give you a hint. It's leaning in and pivoting while everyone else is crying about the recession.
Yeah. I think execution and efficiencies, right? So your ability to execute. Mike's reading off all those companies, and man, you can almost imagine that they probably had tight operations. They had tight processes. They were watching every dollar. They were planning properly. They were thinking about the business. They were looking at, maybe parts of the population that were coming out of the recession or certain people in certain jobs. And so you can always figure out where the hole is. There's a hole in all of this stuff. Real estate market, I think, is getting hit really hard right now. Those guys are going to really have to figure out some unique ways to go win customers, to stay afloat and stay alive. But that's just the way it is when the going gets tough. The tough get going. And the people that prepare and plan and then execute the best are going to have the most efficiencies, and it's going to allow them to, not only are they going to maintain, but they're going to be positioned as an industry leader as they come out of the recession.
Yes, guys, and we just saw this happen with the pandemic. Those businesses that shifted their strategies, they shifted maybe the way that they were doing things to survive, came out on top in their industry.
Yes. In fact, we have a good friend of ours and a partner of ours in a different business owns a restaurant here in Mandeville. And it was really odd because it's called Daisy Duke's. It's in a strip mall, kind of in this indescript place that not a lot of traffic's going by. But the operator, when they closed down, he got really innovative. He started doing outdoor movie nights, and so he had a projector, and they'd come in the parking lot, and he would pipe the sound through their AM radio, and so everybody else was dying, and he leaned into it and started to innovate, think outside the box, and he wound up being the #1 restaurant during the pandemic in gross sales. This little small restaurant that's a breakfast and lunch place knocked the cover off the ball, and it's because he thought outside the box. He started putting his promotional and marketing and circus hat on, and he figured out how to get people there. And guess what? He then started getting a bunch of press because it's like, what is this business doing that's different than everybody else? So where there's a will, there's always going to be a way.
And when people are so tight with their wallets during a recession, they're not looking to spend their money on unnecessary things. So you are going to have to do things outside of the box. They're going to have to be unique and creative, and honestly give people you're going to have to give people something to look forward to in order for them to spend money on your product or service.
Yep.
In a recession, times are bad. People are down. The morale is down.
Exactly. Discretionary income, people start to get tightened up. So it's only those people that, hey, you got to be in their face. You got to go win a bigger share of the pot in order for you to stay successful. And that's what the winners do, and the losers don't figure it out.
That also kind of goes with that quote. I know everybody's heard it before, from that book, Those Who Remain. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. So right now we're in hard times, so it's time that strong men step up. Not men meaning just male models, but just people that want to be strong and find ways to fight and survive. Those will create those good times again, because look, a recession isn't going to be here forever. So it's time to stand up.
Yeah, now is not the time to back away from this, guys. Now is not the time to rear back on your marketing, because your marketing is what's going to get you through. Don't let people forget about you.
As our friend Bruce says, all gas, no brakes.